In the past I've looked at some budget options for gaming headsets, but when you're as competitive as I am and hearing what's around the next corner is a matter of life or death, budget might not quite cut it anymore. Don't get me wrong, for the price the Gamecon 780 is a solid headset even still, but it does lack in comfort and portability. This is where its big brother steps up, the latest in the Plantronics RIG lineup, the 515 HD Lava headset, which brags its purpose-built pro-gaming modular design and clocks in at around $80 at the time of filming, or £80 at the one UK store that sells it. The headset comes packaged very nicely in an aesthetic and premium looking outer box. Opening the box you can slide out the transparent PET insert that holds in the headset securely in place and the card backing that surrounds it and contains the accessories. Contained by the card in the top part is some warranty information, a handy quick setup guide, some promotional material for the different coloured frames that you can buy for this headset, for ESL shirts and an ESL sticker. In the bottom part you'll find the cable. The cable is just over 5¼ feet long and terminates with a USB connector. Inline you'll find a rather large plastic lump that contains the button to toggle the Dolby 7.1 virtual surround sound on or off, and nothing else. This is a bit of a shame, as it would have been nice to even just see a simple volume control on here, as it's such a large unit. It is an attractively designed unit though, so I don't mind having it visible on my desk. Getting to the headset now involves undoing 2 Velcro straps, which was quite surprising. Usually we see a lot of twist ties used in packaging, and the Velcro definitely makes it feel like a more expensive and a more premium product. Straight out of the box, the right ear cup is connected to the frame, but the left one isn't. No, it isn't broken, the ear cup's actually detached from the headband completely, using a spring-loaded retention system to allow them to be stored more compactly for transport, one of the first obvious features of its thoroughbred professional gaming design. If there is going to be any weak point where the headset would break over time, I'd bet this would be it. However, at the moment they hold the ear cup securely in place while still allowing the tilt that's necessary for creating a good seal around your ears. After attaching the left ear cup, you need to remove a paper remove before flight tag that they put around the right ear cup, which squeezes the ear cup rather awkwardly, and I was worried that it might permanently deform the foam at first, but after a short amount of time it returned to its original shape. The only reason I could see for this tag being there is to make sure that the right ear cup stays connected to the headband during shipping, and the PET insert seemed to do a pretty cool job of this on its own, so I think this is something Plantronics could have probably done without. Also, I get that remove before flight sounds cool and all, but this is supposed to be a professional gaming headset and it just sort of ends up sounding a little corny. The headband then has to be attached to the left side, it goes just above the ear cup and is super stretchy, and now all that's left to do is to peel off the tiny piece of plastic that covers the top of the headband. Again, I don't see the point in this, as it doesn't really cover the whole headband, it just covers sort of a bit of a square at the top, but I'm glad that they included it because now I can do this. Taking a look at the headset, you'll find absolutely no controls on either ear cup, something that I found quite strange as I kept reaching for the volume control that I'd gotten used to on the 780s. But I can forgive this as it's supposed to be a tournament headset, so keeping it simple and light is probably a good thing. The rubbery microphone folds down and can be bent to hold a shape to position it around your mouth correctly, and when it folds up it makes an audible click, which is actually the auto-muting mechanism working. In terms of build quality, they're rock solid with no rattling and a very sturdy feel. Excellent. So let's get into using the headset. There is a non-detachable cable that runs from each ear cup to a 3.5mm jack where you plug into the USB cable I mentioned earlier. This is a rather stiff connection, so make sure you use some force and get it plugged in all the way. From there, you simply plug the USB end into your PC and download the driver from the Plantronics website that enables the virtual surround sound, and also has a handy little mic level indicator and a mixer that lets you set custom EQs, both of which are really nice features. The headband is super stretchy, using elastic to minimise the pressure on top of your head, and the pleather material on the ear cups is soft and cushy, creating a good seal around your ear while not applying too much pressure, making this headset about as comfortable as they get. They have good sound isolation and sound great, with what can only be described as crisp highs and decent punch in the bass. It's quite clear when listening to music that these have been engineered for hearing footsteps in first-person shooters, so having the EQ right there in the driver software is great, as it allows you to bring the highs down just a bit, to make your music listening experience much nicer if that's what you want to do. I played a few matches of CSGO and Battlefield after some Killing Floor 2, and they really were excellent. Footsteps come through nice and clear and distinct, even in Battlefield where the background noise can often be quite overpowering. In terms of positional audio, in stereo they were excellent, but once again I was disappointed by the virtual 7.1 surround sound. I was kind of hoping that maybe the 780 surround sound was so poor because they were such cheap headphones, but even this more expensive pair has the same issues. After enabling the surround sound, everything becomes echoed and slightly muffled, which sounds like you're sitting in a very large room, but doesn't help you pinpoint directions in the slightest. I still maintain that leaving the virtual surround sound off in favour for stereo audio is the best way to go.
The microphone is acceptable for a headset. It's not the best quality, as you can hear, and it makes your voice slightly tinny, but I suspect that this is a side effect of the noise cancellation, which actually works remarkably well. Aside from that, your voice comes through loud and clear and is absolutely fine for communicating with your teammates in-game.
A big feature of this headset's design is its ability to be quickly taken apart and reassembled for portability. It takes less than 10 seconds to disassemble the headset, and after doing so it can be steered in an area no larger than the headband alone, roughly 8 by 8 by 3 inches, which is great for those of you that travel frequently with your headset to and from LAN parties and tournaments. Backtracking a little bit, when I first saw the 3.5mm jack, I wondered if the headset would work with my phone. And it turns out it does, however it's a bit orcs with such a short cable, but a little 3.5mm extension cable can fix that quite easily. Unfortunately, the microphone didn't seem to work for me with my phone. Another thing I thought about when I first unboxed this headset is if it's so tournament based and it's supposed to be thrown in a bag and carried with you, why is there no carrying case included? I did a little research and found out that Plantronics actually sell a soft carry case separately for $15, along with a dual 3.5mm splitter for $5 and a 3.5mm extension cable for $10. I have no idea if the 3.5mm extension sold by Plantronics will make the microphone work on your phone, but you can get a simple extension cable for less than $1 online, and I really think they should have probably included even just the cheaper dual 3.5mm splitter cable in the box, along with a cheap soft carrying case, even if that meant they had to charge a little bit more. If they want to sell a carrying case separately, why not make it a hard one? They also sell modular frames in an array of different camouflage patterns, as well as open or closed RIG 500E ear cups for $50 a piece, which feature a removable microphone, which also has to be purchased separately for another $10. I might be missing something here, but this got me wondering why not just buy the RIG 500Es from the get-go, for the removable microphone and both sets of ear cups that it comes with, open and closed. As the design is the same aside from the colours, and from the specs it seems that the two headsets actually use the same drivers, so would give the same sort of sound quality. You even get the 3.5mm splitter cable in the box with the 500Es. Go figure. The answer is of course price. The 515 HD Lavas are cheaper in terms of RRP, but because the price of the 500Es has fallen over time, in England they're actually readily available for £80 new, the same price as the new 515s. So this brings me to my conclusion. Had I not been sent the headset by Plantronics for review, I probably would have bought the 500Es if I was in the market for a headset, as they seem like a better deal. But that doesn't mean that the 515 HD Lavas don't have a lot to offer. If the detachable mic and option for closed or open ear cups isn't an issue for you, and you'll never use the headset on a console or a phone, then the 515 HD Lavas are a great choice. But if you do mind, or just don't like red, I'd strongly consider the 500Es. If you don't do a lot of LAN parties or tournaments and the modular design isn't what you necessarily need, do remember that there are other options out there like the similarly priced HyperX Cloud 2s that are worth looking into. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, and if not, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and let me know. I'll try and answer all your questions as best as I can. Thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video.